Hi, this is a brief introduction to Seesaw for Debo School Principals. It will focus mainly on how to log in as an administrator, access usage analytics for your school, and how to view teacher activities and student posts. First of all, what is Seesaw? Seesaw is a platform for student engagement. Teachers can empower students to create, reflect, share, and collaborate. Students show what they know using photos, videos, drawings, text, PDFs, and links. It's simple to get student work into one place and share with families and administrators, and nothing is shared without teacher approval. Currently, Nebo School District has purchased license for all K-2 students in all schools, as well as some special ed students. And these licenses are active until July 30th, 2021. In all, we have about 7,500 student licenses, and right now we have 4,600 active students. So there's still room to get more students active and involved in teachers' classes. All of the classes have been largely created and the students have been uploaded. There is not an integration with Infinite Campus yet this year, so these students do have to be managed manually. We have been doing that at a district level, and we hope to move that to a school level. Yesterday, we met with your facilitators, and then both you and your facilitator will have full administrative rights to your dashboards and can manage your students and your classes. First of all, then, let's look on how to log in. To log in, you'll just go to seesaw.com, and you can log in as a teacher, a student, a family member, or right here, you'll be able to log in as an administrator. If you've happened to also have a teacher account, you might notice when you log into Seesaw, it might put you right to your teacher account. If you're in your teacher account, this is how you toggle between a teacher account and an administrative account. Click on your name, then click on the gear, and you can see here is where you can switch between all the different account types. I'm going to go back to admin. All of these are accessible with the same login, which is your Nebo credentials. Good. Now that we're in, let's look at a sample. Well, let's look at one of the real dashboards, school dashboards. I just happened to click on Apple Valley. So this is what you can see from the dashboard itself. Right here is a quick summary of the last week at your school, the last 7 days. So these, how many student posts have been posted, 888. This would include your K-2 teachers and any remote teachers that are attached, K-2 remote teachers that are attached to your school. These are either teacher or parent comments on student work, or how many student works, how many likes of student work. You can also go and access each of your classes. So here are all of your classes. Each of these columns is sortable. So right now it looks like they're sorted by teacher first name. I could go in here and sort by grade level. I could sort by how many posts they have, how many family visits, etc. So notice Mrs. Kaza's class, she is a remote teacher. That's why she has so many posts. But that gives you a quick overview of which of your teachers are currently using Seesaw and how active they are. Then you can go right into a class. Let's go into Mr. Vernon's class. Here are where all of his students are. So you could go in to a student and look at that student's work, what they have posted. Or you could go into the activities that have been posted for the class. These are the activities that are already assigned. You could look at any activities that are scheduled to be assigned. And you could look at, go into any of these. You'd want to go into the journal to see the ones that are already completed. So these are activities that are assigned. These are the ones that are completed. We talked about adding families. We noticed we don't have a lot of family engagement. This is how a teacher would add family participation. So they just click on add families. They turn on family access. And then for each of their students, they can enter an email or a mobile number, and then that parent or family member will be contacted. You can add as many per student as you want, and they'll invite families, and then that family member can create an account that it would have to be approved by the teacher, the account, and they will only see their students' work. They wouldn't see the work. You could also print invites or share an invite link. So there's lots of different ways to invite family members so that they can see the work that their students are doing. Just hit the back button here. Let's look very quickly. Just going to go back to hit the back button here. This is to get back to the dashboard. See, I'm in Chad's class. Sorry, I'm going to have to go back to the school district and back to the dashboard, but usually you can just get back to your dashboard by clicking your name up here. So let's look at these tabs really quick. This is how you got to your classes, how you can just see your teachers, and you can see when the last time they signed in, and you could look in and see their engagement. Here's all of your students. You could also sort students by, see how active they are. You'll have all the students in your school who are enrolled. We're not going to worry about these skills yet, but we do have the ability in Seesaw for Schools to tag these activities by student standards, and then we can almost do this as a mastery level assessment, but we have lots of other tools that we're using in the district to do that. On your overview, you had an overview of 7 days, the last 7 days. In the analytics tab, you'll have an overview of the last 28 days. Now notice this is all time for Apple Valley. We're going to start here on 8/22. That starting point right there was at 40,000. So that probably reflected the all-time posts that were from last spring when we did our emergency remote learning and used Seesaw. And then so you would just kind of take the difference between your starting point at 40,000 and where you ended up here at 44. So there's about 4,000 pieces of student work that have been added in the last to Seesaw in the last 28 days, which is awesome. These are the number of all-time comments made on. Here's, you could look by week. So here are the, we're not going to worry about these skills yet, but we do have the ability in Seesaw for Schools to tag these activities by student standards, and then we can almost do this as a mastery level assessment, but we have lots of other tools that we're using in the district to do that. On your overview, you had an overview of 7 days, the last 7 days. In the analytics tab, you'll have an overview of the last 28 days. Now notice this is all time for Apple Valley. We're going to start here on 8/22. That starting point right there was at 40,000. So that probably reflected the all-time posts that were from last spring when we did our emergency remote learning and used Seesaw. And then so you would just kind of take the difference between your starting point at 40,000 and where you ended up here at 44. So there's about 4,000 pieces of student work that have been added in the last to Seesaw in the last 28 days, which is awesome. These are the number of all-time comments made on. Here's, you could look by week. So here are the different weeks of this past 28 days and see the engagement by week. So you could look and see. Again, these are student posts that are being turned in, or else also, they can also just add to their journals. If they do some things, a piece of work that's not digitally created, they could have drawn a picture, for instance, and they can use the camera to add to their journal, and it could be a complete digital portfolio for your students. And we can talk about that later. Again, just your different graphs right here. A teacher can also make announcements, or you could make an announcement as an administrator, a school announcement, and you can say to all teachers, students, or family members, or just to individual ones. In all classes, I could edit classes and just make an announcement. It would show up on their dashboard. So if you want to say, great work, Mrs. Rowley's class, I enjoyed looking at your journals, you could just send them a little announcement. So, and that is Seesaw administration in a nutshell. We've showed you how to log in, how to look at usage analytics for your school, and how to view teacher activities and student posts. If you have more questions, please feel free to contact any of the elementary digital coaches.